live on WLON 1050 AM 107.5 FM, folks. He's playing beach and oldies music right now up in Lincolnton from Guitar Wishes in downtown Lincoln. So Tim is he's still with us, folks. Don't worry, but he's going to be doing that on Tuesday, rocking out from Lincolnton Tuesdays through Thursday, and then Addison's going to be here all the time now, I guess. No more class on Wednesday afternoon, Addison?
It's just Wednesday morning. I get out around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock for lunch. So.
And Nate, you're more than welcome to join us whenever you got time, and come on in. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Ken Link. We had All-Star Weekend this weekend. Now, Ken, you guys talk about whatever you want. I'll fill in and answer any questions if you guys got anything. I do have some interviews this weekend. We went to the NBA All-Star Media Day and the games and the slam dunk contest and all that. I've got interview coverage from almost every player. I don't have any audio from LeBron or Steph. Y'all can imagine the crowd surrounded around them. Kyrie also probably had the next biggest crowd, believe it or not. There was nobody around Kyle Lowry. There was like 4 of us around him. So I just hung out with him for a few minutes.
He's from Toronto. Just leave him up there.
He is extremely nice.
He is.
I do want to talk. I do want to mention the guys that are nice to people, and the ones that are kind of a little curt with others. Durant doesn't have a good, I would say, relationship with the media. Let's see.
What about Klay Thompson?
Anthony Davis was real quiet. Klay was nice to everybody. Dirk
probably the most genuine person.
Dirk he really is. No matter what question you ask Dirk, he elaborates on it.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a bad question. Everybody there kind of knows it might be a bad or stupid question, but he really is really nice about it and gets into it. He did tweet last night. One thing that bothers him, though, is that when parents grab their kids and point at them and say, "Look how tall he is."
Yeah, that would be annoying.
He says he gets that all the time. Kemba Walker, I did get to ask a few people questions. I asked Ben Simmons a question, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Dirk, Kemba Walker, and my favorite, I would say my favorite and the biggest highlight of the weekend was I spent about a minute and a half talking to Gary Payton. The glove, Gary Payton, and I asked him about
probably one of the best defensive players of all time.
Well, yes, and if you don't know it, Addison, he's in the top 20 in assists too, maybe even top 10.
Yeah.
And I asked him specifically about people, leaving him off, when they talk about the all-time great point guard list, and he said it don't bother him. He knows how good he is. He said you look at the stats and stuff like that. Yeah,
game don't lie.
But he wasn't saying he never. When you listen to it, he never says that he's the best. He's just saying that, he don't really like to get into naming who's the greatest and stuff like that. It's kind of what he was talking about with that. Really good interviews, guys. I've got them on YouTube, the KTC broadcasting page. We have a whole playlist of the ones I actually asked, and then I'm working on the playlist now of all the questions that we got that I didn't even ask. I tried. What was funny is, guys, if I didn't have a specific question for them, and most of them I didn't, I was trying my best to think of something. You got to think, what question can I ask that they would answer, that people would be interested in, and also that it's not going to get me smacked by somebody. So, right? I didn't want to be. I thought I asked Ben Simmons a legit question.
Yeah, and I was going to elaborate.
See
on
what
that.
you guys think about that. I asked Ben Simmons if he thought the Sixers could win the title this year, and he said it was a dumb question, bro. So
yeah, well, you need to tell him about last year when they ran into Boston.
I mean, the Sixers hadn't won one since 81, 83, something like that.
Yeah.
They haven't made it since 2001, 2003, something like that. And then and they didn't make it to the finals last year. The Warriors are going to be maybe there. And like you just said, Addison,
You got
Celtics or Toronto.
You got 3 powerhouses in the East: Boston, Toronto, and Milwaukee that are playing really good basketball.
Well, when you hear people talk about the potential playoffs, and when they talk about 76ers, what I've heard is, Simmons is a great player, but one of the issues with them, they don't have enough outside shooting, and Simmons is not an outside shooter.
No, he's not.
He can't shoot,
so that's it.
He has
in warm-ups and during all the practice festivities, he did everything he could to avoid actually shooting.
Yeah.
Like, so everyone else is shooting jumpers. He would do a pump fake and take it to the rack. I swear to God.
He has like the longest streak for a rookie to never make a 3 at the beginning of his career. It's crazy. It's like how many? I can't think of how many minutes it is, but it's It's unbelievable because he plays all the time, and you look at all the shots he takes, and they're literally, if they're 10 feet behind, away from the basket, it's a brick. It's bad.
Yeah.
And when you're that far away, they know you can't shoot. Pump fake don't work.
Yeah.
He's like almost like a
nobody respects his 3-point shot.
He's like a
at all.
poor man's Giannis right now. What do you think? Like something like, you know,
Giannis is way better than him.
Yeah, right now, definitely.
Yeah.
And Giannis can't shoot threes either, and he's averaging pretty good. Any of these, real quick, I want to play one or two, and then let you guys kind of get into what you want to get into. But the funny, my main question was, if I didn't have a specific thing for anybody, was name me the greatest Charlotte Hornet ever. Now, I got 3 or 4 people asking the question. Not a single one of them wanted to answer it.
Okay.
And because I don't think they could name a Charlotte
I was
Hornet.
going to say they didn't know who they were.
3 of the greatest Charlotte Hornets.
I just damn it, I said, who's the greatest Charlotte Hornet ever to a couple different people, and it didn't seem like anybody knows. So first, we're going to start off.
I got Larry Johnson as my first one.
So first, I'm going to start off with Kimba, and I didn't ask him specifically. I just asked him about the All-Star Weekend. So here's me talking to Kimba.
Glenn Rice has been MVP here before. We'd like to see you maybe put on MVP for us or win the 3-point contest. Fans are excited to see you. Ready to put on a show for us here?
I'm going to try and do what I could. Three-point contest, I'm going to go out there, enjoy it, compete for sure. In the game, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm definitely going to compete and going to try and go out there and get a win and put it on a show for the fans.
Can Dirk finish his rap? That's the question.
Yeah, Dirk is definitely going to finish, man. Dirk has done this before.
So I was asking, can Dirk finish the 3-point right? Because everybody was joking during the week that he wasn't going to have finished. He needed to get some extra time. I got him to laugh a little bit there on that one. So Dirk, talking about the 3-point contest, if you remember a couple weeks ago, Ken, I asked him about getting in, and he said no, they wasn't going to let him.
Yeah.
And then a week later, the NBA announced that Dirk was going to be in the 3-point contest. I got to ask him about that, and he laughed a little bit too. Now this video is going to sound a little choppy. What happened was in these press pools, these dodos push and shove a lot. Some idiot hit right on my elbow, Addison, as soon as Dirk started talking to me, and so I dropped the phone. I was sitting there holding it like this, and some dude hit me right now, but I just dropped the phone. So I'm kind of staring at Dirk, listening to him. Of all the time I was there, it's during my question. So it's kind of messed up a little bit, but he does kind of. I get him to talk about it a little bit.
Dirk, last time you were here, I asked you about the 3-point contest. You said you didn't think they was going to let you in, and we kind of talked about it on the floor, and you said they're not going to let you. So what did you have to do to get in at this?
I had to make a few and be with some of the greatest shooters in the world, and hopefully I can get and hopefully get in the final. That'll be fun. But like I said, they expanded the competition to 10. There's amazing shooters, so we'll see how that goes.
Was there any more talk of getting Vince?
Now, right here, I also asked him the last time if he's good friends with Vince Carter, and I asked him last time about, what about Vince in the dunk contest as well. So I went back with that one too.
In the dunk contest yet?
I'd love to see Vince part of this weekend again. Obviously, we came in together, we played together for a few years in Dallas. He's a good friend of mine, and I'd love to see him dunk or be a part of this weekend, of course, but unfortunately he's not.
So that was Dirk talking about that. Now I'll get into the couple comments just quick, asking the guys who the greatest Charlotte Hornet ever was. This is Kevin Durant, totally avoiding the question.
Who's the best Charlotte Hornet ever?
I don't know. I think everybody's unique and different, and they all brought something great to the table for this franchise.
You watch Muggsy or any of the other guys, any of the other older guys?
Of course, yeah, of course. Big fan of the Hornets brand and what they brought to the NBA. And
they're all equal, and they bring different things to the table.
Did he say Horace Grant?
No.
I could have swore you just said Horace Grant. I was like, Horace Grant played for the Bulls.
So here's me talking to Devin Booker. This is
Who's
fun.
the best Charlotte Hornet ever? Charlotte Hornets radio.
I don't know. I mean, the Raptors.
Wrong building.
He looked up in the rafters and said, I don't know. Let me look in the rafters.
Who was that again?
That was Devin Booker. Now, we were at Bojangles Coliseum. So I told him wrong.
He probably wasn't born with
I told him wrong building.
he didn't know what the heck you was talking about.
No, so here, let me finish it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wrong building. I don't know. You tell me.
Larry Johnson, Glenn Rice is sitting right over here, All-Star MVP.
Well, let's do Glenn Rice.
Yeah, Glenn Rice is sitting here. He's the MVP?
Yeah, for sure.
Good, Glenn Rice. Okay, thank you, Danny.
So right before he did that, Kimba was like 15 feet away from him, And they just interviewed Glenn Rice on the big board, so he was set up. Now the Durant and them, they weren't really set up. He should have known it. He could name at least one Hornet.
Yeah,
and they couldn't name a Hornet.
That's the greatest. What would you say the greatest Hornet is of all time?
I think it's Glenn Rice, All-Star Game MVP.
I mean, he's good.
And he won a playoff series. Now, the Hornets have only won, I think, 2 playoff series.
I like Larry Johnson.
3. I'm sorry. The Hornets have won 3 playoff series, I think, in the history of the team. They've never made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Larry may have been – he got hurt. He may have been the overall, like, if one single season best player, he may have been that. But the Glenn Rice MVP stuff for a couple years and winning a series, I think that pushes him right over the edge for Larry. Ken, I don't know if you remember, I was talking to a USA Today writer because they honored Alonzo Mourning. And I told him I can't believe people right here cheering Alonzo Mourning in Charlotte after, he did not want to be a Charlotte Hornet.
Yeah.
He forced his way to Miami. So I thought that was weird they were even had him out there.
Well, Larry Johnson was probably the most notorious. When I mean by that, not as far as in a bad way, but he had, he was built up and come out of that.
He was a poor man's Barkley. He was almost Charles Barkley, but he wasn't quite that good.
He made commercials.
He could shoot a little bit, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could shoot a little bit.
And he did the commercials and stuff, so he was so well known as a Hornet.
So, Ken, do you know the background on the Grandmama commercials?
Why they did that?
Well, who created it and where it came from?
No.
So
I knew he did a bunch of them. I remember the commercials.
So, Addison, do you know what we're talking about, the Grandmama? I'll show you in a minute. So, Larry Johnson, Converse ran a campaign, and he was Grandmama. So he dressed up like an old lady. You know how Uncle Drew, Kyrie does Uncle Drew.
So Kyrie kind of stole that.
Oh, it was definitely stolen. So Larry dressed up like a woman, and it was Grandmama. And he's just dunking on everybody in the commercials and stuff. So it was pretty funny. Grandma. So the thing about it is that my 5th grade teacher come up with that, Ken.
Really?
Sent it to Converse. Converse told him it was a bad idea, and they never used it.
Yeah.
A month later,
they stole it.
Larry Johnson's on TV in a dress dunking the basketball.
Yeah, how about that?
He got to sue him, so he just let you.
Did he get anything out of it?
Yeah, he did.
All right, good enough. That's good.
Yeah, that's a little fun. Y'all got any other questions about All-Star Weekend or anything else? I just want to get some of the interviews out that y'all wanted to talk about. Dunk contest, 3-point contest, anything like that.
I think that's it for me.
So you're okay with the winner and all that in the dunk contest,
I watched.
Yeah.
I watched
Hamid Diallo, right?
I
can't pronounce his name.
What about Dennis Smith going 1 for 11, basically in dunks?
Yeah, and how did he finish?
He tried to do too much. he tried to do too much. I think the pressure got to him because when you look at him in practice, just warming up and just like throwing it through like it's nothing. I think he's not a. I think in the game he can do it, but when pressure's on him and he's in a dunk contest, I don't think he can live up to the hype.
Yeah, sometimes when people are watching you do it rather than just during the game competition, it's a little bit different. Yeah, judging you, in other words.
Well, 3-point contest, everybody wanted Dirk or everybody in the building wanted Dirk or Kimba to win, or Curry. Dirk, Kimba, or a Curry.
I wanted to see Vince Carter come out there in a dunk contest as a surprise.
Yeah,
new
that'd been
good. We all did. I'll tell you what else I asked. There's a couple of things I was disappointed in. One, like I was just telling you guys a little while ago, this was not a Celebrate Charlotte event. There was you couldn't buy Yugo in the building with a logo on it. Everything, you could buy Lakers jerseys and Lakers hats, but you couldn't buy Charlotte Hornets hat stuff, basically. So it was an NBA event. It was not Charlotte, I would say, from on that standpoint. Now,
they weren't celebrating Charlotte. They were celebrating the NBA.
No. So that was kind of weird that you couldn't really – I thought they'd be selling Yugos with NBA All-Star logos like crazy in there. Like, that would have been the number one thing. Like, everyone from around the world is here. Like, y'all have not like, – they had to rearrange the whole arena, basically, just for the press. Like, there was so much stuff and people there, and it was just they're more concerned with it's a league thing. So like, when you hear some of these people saying it was a great thing for Charlotte and us, I don't think so. Like, when I went to the games, guys, and went to the events every weekend, there was no traffic because all the people that were going to this thing are in the hotels and stuff. They're riding these transports and stuff. People were worried about how bad the traffic was be. There was none. I got on the interstate on Brookshire in less than 5 minutes from the stadium. There was no waiting, no nothing.
If everybody's out of town, out of state, they're not driving vehicles.
So,
yeah, there wasn't no locals going to the game. So there was no.
That's what I'm saying,
There was no parking. There was no. So that was all weird. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. All-Star game was pretty cool. The dunk contest and all that stuff I thought was the best, and and most fun for me, of course. The interviewing people was pretty cool. Gary Payton, probably talking to him, might have been the highlight of the weekend. Trying to think of any other celebrity. I'm sure my wife asked me about any celebrities I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw some that I have no idea who they are. That's usually how that goes. I did fist bump Jerry Stackhouse in the hallway, Addison, so there you go for that. You're a Tar Heel fan, aren't you? Thought so. The only other thing that disappointed me, and see what you think about this, Ken, with the dunk contest and all this stuff, and there's a lot of stuff you guys didn't see on TV, but the one thing I thought they should have had in honor of Charlotte, and they didn't do it at all. I know I didn't see him at all. I thought they should have been a dunk contest for the mascots.
Oh, that'd been neat. Yeah.
Super Hugo was one of the original dunkers.
Yeah,
him and the gorilla,
Exactly
and
right.
it would have been I thought it would have been a perfect time to restart the mascot dunk contest. That's just fun. Just you know, there's a dude up there doing all this athletic stuff in a
for the
suit.
kids.
Oh yeah. And I think Sir Purr even tweeted out that he wanted to get in on it. So I mean, they could have had Purr out there and Hugo and all these other. They had about 8 or 9 different mascots actually there. The gorilla was not there. I did not see the gorilla.
Did y'all see that Adam Silver, the commissioner for the NBA? There, a lot of the owners from the NFL is wanting him to become the commissioner for the NFL.
See that? That'd depends what type of money. Maybe they're soured on Goodell.
I would be too.
Did you see where they're going to have a NBA team in Africa?
What?
They can try a league, or it's going to be a whole league, right?
Well, I mean a league, NBA league,
Yeah, I was about to
an
say.
African league, not a team. I'm sorry, an African league.
They're gonna fly him over here every game and stuff.
No, it's going to be African countries.
So is the
Yeah, they ain't going to have anything to do with the NBA.
Is the NBA gonna be like a part of it? Like, are they gonna like have friendly
I thought
games?
the NBA was going to be part of it.
I mean, it's going to be like NBA Europe, NBA, that's basically what it is.
It'll be called
NBA Africa.
or whatever.
So, I mean, the Bulls or Hornets ain't going over to play anybody.
No,
they might scrimmage,
Yeah.
like in off-season stuff like that, preseason stuff. But, yeah, they're not actually getting in
It's
the
just
league.
expanding pro basketball under the NBA name in another continent, I guess you might say.
And I'm not sure, Ken, that people realize how when they talk about that Africa, like we're at in Africa. Africa's huge. It's 4 times the size of the United States. It's not. So I just wonder where they're going to put the games.
Some of these countries
where
is like what? They got some unusual.
Well, let's jump into some college basketball real quick. Let's talk.
Well, let's take a break.
Take a break.
We'll come back. I've got some commercials to play here, guys, and you guys can break down. We got big night tonight here on WCSL, KTC Broadcasting, WLON, WHS. It's Duke
versus Carolina
and North Carolina.
Best rivalry in sports.
What day is it? Mike.
Hump Day.
It's UNC Duke Day. We'll be back in a few minutes here on KTC Broadcast.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
NCN News, I'm Bruce Farrell. Special Counsel Robert Mueller believed to be nearing an end to his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election and any possible connections between Russia and the Trump campaign. CBS News White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
As speculation mounts that the special counsel's on the cusp of finishing up his work, the president was asked if Robert Mueller's report should be released while he's in Vietnam meeting with Kim Jong-un next week.
That'll be totally up to the new Attorney General. He's a tremendous man, a tremendous person who really respects this country and respects the Justice Department. So that'll be totally up to him.
Attorney General Bill Barr has vowed transparency, but he hasn't explicitly promised to publicly release Mueller's report in full. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
The apparent Republican winner in the 9th District congressional race is expected to explain why he stuck with a political operative with a shady track record that even the GOP candidate thought about protesting in the past. State Elections Board well into its 3rd day today, and they have heard testimony from the son of Mark Harris, John Harris, today. Police identifying a man killed in a fight in West Charlotte early this morning. The police department reports 52-year-old Titus Campbell was found dead at a home. Major Ryan Butler spoke with WSOC News.
The victim is a male. I cannot confirm the relationship between the two at this time. I can tell you that there were a group of individuals that were at the same location.
The public inspection files of WHS, WLON, and WCSL are located at the studios at 1416 Shelby Highway in Cherryville. WHS, WCSL, and WLON are owned and operated by KTC Broadcasting Incorporated. WHS, WCSL, WLON do not discriminate against any qualified applicant, regardless of race, color, religion, national origin, age, or sex. For more information, you may call 704-482-1390 or email us at info@ktcbroadcasting.com. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincolnton, WCSL Cherryville, Gastonia.
NCN News, I'm Bruce Farrell.
Messy weather in the forecast for the next several days. Just keep those umbrellas handy. Tonight we'll have some rain, some drizzle, some patchy fog. Temperatures will stay above freezing in the low to mid 30s. Cloudy skies Thursday. Periods of rain likely on and off throughout the day with high temperatures in the low 50s. And Friday, more rain. Scattered showers likely with highs in the middle 40s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's...
For over 25 years, Moss Realty has been serving clients in Gaston and surrounding counties. Their realtors know the area, not just from maps and pictures, but from living and working in the community. From Belmont to Kings Mountain, Lincolnton to Clover, and more, the hometown specialists at Moss Realty want you to be their neighbors.
Hi, I'm Warren Moss. Whether you're buying or selling your home in Gaston County, call one of the professionals at Moss Realty or visit us online at mossrealty.com. Moss Realty, your hometown specialist.
Coyote, coyote, coyote. That tractor's all you talk about anymore.
But honey, my Coyote can...
Yes, your Coyote can clear fields, move mulch, mow the lawn, and...
Honey.
Yes, dear.
I don't have the problem talking about the Coyote. You do.
I know, but it's such a great tractor.
That's what I've been trying to say.
Yes, but it sounds better coming from me.
Visit www.kioti.com.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
Coyote, run ahead of the pack.
Good afternoon, welcome back. Wednesday, the Best in Sports Talk Show with Ken Lee. Addison Johnson's here today along with Nate Baker. Nate said first half out. He's ready to talk some UNC Duke, though. A little football, a little bit of everything. AAF football. Might bring that up Saturday or something. I don't know if y'all want to get into that.
We'll mention it. I understand AAF had a little bit of trouble meeting their payroll here the second week. One of the rich owners had to throw in a little bit of money. So that's your new football league that's played its second week this past week.
They're getting $75,000 a player. And I think that is huge because you're going to have those players, Ken, coming out of high school and stuff. I think you're going to have some running backs coming out of high school that's going to be like, I'd rather get paid $75,000 for 3 years than I would go to college and not get paid and get hit in the face for 3 years.
Yeah, the deal with these.
But what's bigger? What's bigger?
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little glitch there.
What would be bigger publicity for those high school players coming out? Would it be the AFL or would it be college? College, obviously, because it's a bigger stage. It's people see it. It's been accustomed to them, and they've watched it all the time. They watched the NCAA championship game. They watched the playoffs.
It's a league for those folks who can't are not good enough initially
for
to
the
make
college,
make it in NFL to play, and it can be a feeder to the NFL. I understand. Everybody gets paid a 3-year contract, $250,000, which is basically what he's saying, $75,000 a year.
That's not bad.
But they have an out clause. If NFL team wants to bring you on in the off season, they'll let you out of the contract.
That's good. That's good.
So
let's go over a little bit of college basketball rankings. Nate, you want to hit on those real quick? Top 10.
Yeah, we got number 1 Duke, 2 Gonzaga, 3 Virginia, 4 Kentucky, 5 Tennessee, 6 Nevada, 7 Michigan, 8 UNC, 9 Houston, and 10 Michigan State.
All right, Ken, let's talk about the game we got tonight at 9 o'clock, Duke and UNC. So the Tar Heels are traveling to Duke, which is, in favor for Duke, but I see it a different perspective as you do. I see that they're going to have to shut down Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett. If those two get going, then it's going to be a tough game all night.
Yeah, those are two main scorers for Duke, and Duke Duke's weaknesses this year have been inconsistent in three-point shooting. They've had a couple games where they're hot. They had some other games where they didn't shoot well at all. If they don't shoot the three-pointer well, then Duke can be beat. They're also not great at free throw line. But you're right. They get probably 65-70% of their scoring out of two guys, and that's Barrett and Wilmington. And Zion is a tough matchup for anybody.
And when Zion goes in, there's got to be a good athletic wing that stays on him and can body him. And Carolina has that player in Nasir Little, and he comes off the bench. But in this game, I'd like to see Roy switch it up. I'd like to see Carolina go big with Duke, but also have those wing players who can also shoot the three and stay out there and, you know, have Kobe White run the floor, which would be nice and see them because, you know, Duke fell earlier this year to Gonzaga, and Carolina put a butt whooping on Gonzaga. So there's some good matchups.
Duke's, I don't think Duke's not going to slow it down. They're going to play with Carolina. Carolina likes to play fast.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Carolina. Occasionally they get careless with the basketball. They can't start turning the ball over and let Duke dunk on the other end. They can't start. They got to take care of the basketball.
They're playing at Duke, and that crowd is going to be into it.
Oh,
and any transition dunk, anything in transition that gets going, it's just going to be rhythm for Duke. And you know you cannot have that if you're a Carolina fan.
I think they'll use several players on Zion. They'll use May. They'll use Little. They may even have Garrison Brooks on him a little bit. But what I think they'll do is try to deny the ball when they can. Once he gets it, he's really good putting it on the floor. I look for Carolina, their help defense, to step in and take some charges from him, or try to take some charges. He has got in foul trouble the last couple of games.
Yeah.
So if they get in foul trouble, obviously that's advantage Carolina.
So for Carolina and Duke, does any of the teams are they having injuries on the team that might persuade the game to go one way or the other?
No, I'm glad to see Little's back. He got banged up a couple games ago, but they say he's fine and ready to go. Carolina got a guy out, but he's been out for like 4 or 5 games, and that's Leaky Black. He was pretty good off the bench, but he turned an ankle. So nobody's – I think their key players are going to be there tonight, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But just because you're playing at Durham don't mean that Duke's got the advantage. With this rivalry, I've seen many times Carolina went to Durham and won, and vice versa. They come to Carolina.
It can go either way.
It can go either way.
I don't want to see a blowout. I want to see a really good game either way. I don't want to see I don't want to see me being a Carolina fan, I don't want to see Carolina blow Duke out, and I don't want to see Duke blow Carolina out. I want to see a really good defensive game.
I think you'll see a good game, and obviously in a game like this, all the emotions there for the players, the fans, and everything, and it's a huge rivalry, and
this might be one of the games of the year.
Well, it could be.
Could be, however it plays out.
This is certainly the best rivalry in college basketball. Many people think it's the best rivalry in sports when those two meet.
Did y'all talk about the ticket prices for tonight?
I heard them say that they exceeded the Super Bowl. How much was
$3,500 tickets tonight, right now, to get in the building.
$3,500 to get into Durham and see that game tonight.
Yeah,
I believe I'll watch it on TV.
I believe the way Carolina's going to win this game is going to make Duke, force them to shoot the ball out on the outside. Carolina has great rebounders, and you know, as long as they can push the ball in transition, not turn the ball over, I think they'll be fine.
Here, I think that tonight will be Carolina's best chance to beat Duke.
Yeah.
Because here's why. Zion and them, they've been playing against teams, and everybody's playing kind of trying to do the same style and same everything, and everybody's shooting threes and doing this and that. What they're going to play tonight, just like when they play Virginia or Syracuse, is a style that the school has been used to for a number of years.
Yeah.
So the whole team for North Carolina, this is where I think when they play against freshmen have a tough time dealing with the pace that North Carolina plays. And if you're not used to what they're about to do, if Zion gets a big dunk and he's jumping up and down and getting excited by himself, the ball's already past him down the court.
The ball's already down the court.
So I think tonight with those freshmen, it's going to be a rude awakening for them how fast and how quick North Carolina plays this secondary break. Now, with that said, and also because Carolina's biggest problem over the years has been teams that shoot the lights out in three-pointers. Duke's not that this year. So Duke has to out-2-point Carolina, and that's why I think Carolina's got a better chance to win tonight with the first time that Zion coming Chapel Hill, Zion and them's going to know that how fast they're going to have to run for 4 quarters. Tonight, I think it might be a little surprise. I don't know if they can or will, but I do think tonight will be the chance for North Carolina to steal one in that fashion. And then from here on out, it's no holds barred. I think
it's different because Duke usually, when they play these weak teams, they control the pace of the game throughout.
Right,
the whole
and they're
game.
not going to tonight.
They're not going to control the pace of the game.
And
but
Carolina's going to play fast.
These boys run. That's all they do. That's how
Carolina just needs to make sure they don't get sloppy and start throwing the ball away and letting Duke get dunks at the other end by doing that. As long as they take care of the basketball, I think they win. This is one of the better three-point shooting teams that Carolina's had.
But I don't want to see Carolina try to play too fast. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see them play out of their comfort zone. Because when they do that, that's when they, like Ken said, they become sloppy, and they try to do too much with the ball. Okay, so I'd like to see them, in some point of the game, when Duke has all their starters out and Carolina has a good bit of their players in, kind of slow the game down and, take advantage of those players that are not used to seeing those minutes. Because Duke's going to have to have a rotation because they're not going to have the players that have, they can't run up and down the court like Carolina can. And Zion, I can see Zion sitting out for a little bit in the first half, but the second half he's going to sit out a lot.
It's running with Carolina in that sense is going to be hard for Duke. Like you're saying there, Addison, because they're not that deep as well. My biggest concern of North Carolina is the defense. Because they're going to score some points because of the pace, and what that pace also lends to, if the other team is hitting their shots in that pace, they're going to score a lot of points too. They give up how many to NC State? Was it 90?
Who?
Yeah.
After somebody just held them to 24.
Yeah.
So the defense isn't going to be the thing tonight. It's just going to be a run up and down points bonanza, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
And that'll be a fun one to watch. But it'll be a good one, and I'm looking forward to it. It could be a classic. Usually they are. Very seldom are these games ever blowouts, Addison. They usually come down to the last 3 or 4 minutes.
2 minutes of the game.
When the one team makes a key plays at the end to win it.
All right, let's go through the ACC basketball standings real quick. You got Duke sitting at top at 11-1, Virginia 11-2, UNC 10-2, Florida State 9-4, Louisville 9-4, Syracuse 8-4, Virginia Tech 9-5, NC State 6-7, Clemson 5-8, Boston College 4-8, Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, and Wake Forest all 3-10, with Miami sitting at the behind, Pittsburgh 2-11.
And Florida State, I might add, has won 8 straight. They right now are playing maybe some of the best basketball in ACC.
Yep.
Can I get my? I know Tim ain't here today, but I wish he was, just so I could ask him if I give Terry and them these NC State fans some hell about when we're going to kick State out of the ACC.
Well,
Wake Forest needs to go with them too right now.
I was watching a little bit of the first half of the Duke NC State game, and you know how the NC State fans are. When they was ready, and when State scored the 24th point in the first half, they went nuts. Just sarcastic.
Carolina did too in Chapel Hill.
That's funny.
When they got their 24th point. That's so sad. Golly.
All right.
Here, a little tidbit Ken brought up Saturday. People don't know that Tom Gugliotta actually made the second Dream Team, and he got hurt and didn't actually play on the 96 team. He was replaced by someone. I can't remember who replaced him, but Googs was on the
quick question. Are we
Dream Team.
covering the UNC Duke game? Will it?
Yes.
So
tonight.
Y'all could check that out at 9 o'clock. UNC and Duke.
All three stations.
All three stations will be covering that game.
WHS in Cleveland County. If you're in Cleveland County, 101.5 FM.
I'll let Kevin do the plugs.
Here around Cherryville, Gaston County area, 92.3 FM, and Lincoln County area, 107.5 FM. Who you guys got tonight?
I'm going to go with Heels.
I'm going to go with UNC.
Addison.
Oh, Addison, you've been
I'm a Carolina fan, but this is not looking good because they have so much talent. I'm going to go UNC. I'm going to go UNC when they're going to win defensively, and then hopefully it's a low-scoring game, but it's not going to be. I know it ain't.
No.
It's not going to be.
All right, we got to take a quick break. If you guys got anything else, we get back and talk about football and baseball, whatever else you want. You good?
Yep.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got – I don't know what's on Ken's magic sheet in there. He's got all kinds of things. What do you got on there, Ken?
We're going to talk a little bit of local football. About
local high school football, and then we'll go to the NFL.
Okie doke. We'll be right back on KTC.
Hometown Proud.
The only station I listen to.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. WCSL Cherryville.
Hey, Dwight Fowler at Ronaldo Auto Mall in Shelby says it's time for you to step up to a new GMC truck. Come on in and check out the fold-down tailgate, making stepping up easy. And what about payments? How about 0% financing for up to 72 months? Come into Ronaldo Auto Mall in Shelby for all the details. Step up. Step up to a new GMC truck today from Ronaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
At Cherryville Auto and Truck Parts, we are now able to give our customers one of the largest inventories in the area. We have moved from the small blue building to the newer location at 1313 Shelby Highway. We are now in the former Marvin Beam Ford building. We stock many more parts for your auto, heavy-duty truck, tractor, and hydraulic needs. Come check us out at your Napa store in Cherryville, located at 1313 Shelby Highway, across the road from WCSL.
Decorate your home or win their love by coming to Red Rabbit 27, Highway 27 east of Lincolnton. At Red Rabbit 27, you'll find candy, decorations, gifts, and more. Come in today and see all that Red Rabbit 27 has to offer. Local vendors with homemade crafts, antiques, soaps, jellies, jams, and so much more. Red Rabbit 27 is the place to come for Valentine's Day or any time of the year, with something for every member of the family. Open Monday through Saturday on Highway 27 east of Lincolnton. Like us on Facebook. That's Red Rabbit 27.
For over 100 years, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home in Falston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added the Cremation Center along with a new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Falston, and the Stamey Funeral Home in Cherryville, located on Dixie Street in Cherryville, serving you with care and compassion in your time of need.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you can get it all at Pat's Drive-In in Cherryville. Pat's Drive-In opens for breakfast Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Lunch and dinner served till 8 p.m. For breakfast, there's bacon, sausage, liver mush, gravy biscuits, and pancakes. For lunch and dinner, all of your favorite sandwiches, including Lotta Burgers, chicken tender plates, and Big Chef salad and chicken salad. Before the game or after the game, it's Pat's Drive-In, 604 West Church Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-8833.
With CF Moto, you have the power to conquer more. From Rocky Creek beds to colossal mud pits to wooded mountainsides, CF Moto high-performance vehicles rip through the toughest terrain with ease. Outfitted with custom-designed, liquid-cooled four-stroke engines and an unmatched assortment of standard features, the CF Moto ATVs and Side-X sides do more than crush trailheads. CF Moto, available now at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Play trivia every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock right here at Big O Country. 4 big games each morning. Join us for trivia right here at Big O Country, WHS, WCSL, and WLON.
Welcome back to the Best in Sports Show, Wednesday afternoon, February 20th. Yesterday was Michael Jordan's birthday. Let's see, Sunday was Michael Jordan's birthday. I think today might be Barkley's. And then Dad is born on the same day as George Washington on the 22nd.
Famous people.
All within the week. All within the last week. Oh, let me stop it. We're getting excited.
Talk a little bit.
Go ahead, Ken.
A local high school football news. We've got some coaching changes that's going to be happening. Nate, you want to talk about that? One of those changes with the school you play football
Yeah,
with?
one was with Lincolnton. Gibson got fired or something, and Joe Glass took his place. He comes from Eastern Guilford, whatever, where he coached last year after being the head coach for 4 years at J.M. Robinson.
And that's the first hire outside of the Lincoln coaching staff since 59.
Yep.
Wow.
They always replace internally. Well, this time they went externally.
Yep.
And Kevin, we see Lance Ware has resigned at Shelby and heading to App State for assistant coaching job. He led Shelby to 5 state championships, a 33-3 record.
100. He's going as assistant to the head coach. I don't know exactly what the
senior assistant
the responsibilities.
Yeah, I don't either.
Of that exactly mean, but it doesn't sound like it's just a stand there job. It sounds like he might be pretty involved in that.
Just look at that resume. Ware led Shelby to 5 state championships and a 33-3 playoff record. That is amazing.
That is amazing.
I mean,
so what they're going to do, Kevin? They're going to replace internally.
They'll hire with him.
I have been now, just like Lincoln and Ken, they haven't hired either outside. Now they've hired people not from Shelby, but everyone who they've hired has been on the coaching staff at least before.
Yeah.
So it's not like maybe the coach that they've hired hasn't been a Shelby High School graduate, but they've been a Shelby coach
and that's
before.
That's the way it was. Lincoln Gibson wasn't a graduate, but he was there like 20-some years.
Right. So what I'm being told is it may be one of the line coaches. I haven't been told anything outside yet, so I'm not the voice of knowing everything that's going on over there. But only thing I've been told is that right now currently one of the line coaches is the interim head coach in charge of things. So, but I don't know if that particular person is going to be actually promoted anything official or not. So I get only speculating in their on Shelby. What Lance Ware did, guys, is Shelby. If you notice the past 5 years, if you read any articles, every quarterback they put in broke a school record. Yeah. Because before then, they didn't pass the ball, did they, Ken?
No.
Didn't have to.
No, didn't have to. And when Ware came in and he changed everything to spread offense, a lot of Shelby fans were upset.
Yeah, they were mad. The teams already run the wing and the option on that. I mean, they had. I mean, when Norris Harper was the quarterback, they only had really one play. Norris on 2.
Yeah.
And you guys, you kids don't know that name, but you've seen Kyler Murray play and run around. If you could put Barry Sanders at quarterback, that's what Norris Hopper was at Shelby. And you can ask the fastest dudes that you've ever known, the best defenders you've ever known in Cleveland County, and the first name they're going to say they couldn't touch or put a hand on was Norris, right, Ken?
And he went on to play
with the Reds.
Play baseball with the Reds.
It was one of those jokes. Like they had a cool Papa Bell joke about him. He could turn the lights off and be in the bed before the lights hit the light switch and be in bed before the lights went out.
Quick. But anyway, that was completely changed. In that first year, there's a lot of people that were upset. But Ware turned it around, and as Kevin said, he had the style of offense that all his quarterbacks set records while he was there.
Well, Coach Emery's still there, and he's the one that he's kind of the offensive coordinator. So maybe they'll keep the air raid and passing going there in Shelby for the Golden Lions. But not too often you get a state champion, just 5-time state champion coach, just leave his home school for something. But he went to Appalachian too, so.
He was an App graduate, so I saw
making a lot more money doing that too. That's another thing, Ken, that people were talking about as far as North Carolina coaches retiring and going to South Carolina or trying to get other jobs and things like that. So all kinds of things going involved. Tom Sane retired. So I mean, we just this year and the past few months, Tom Sane's gone, Ledford Gibson's gone, and Lance Ware's gone. So there's 3 people in my cell phone that I don't have no need to call or text anymore. In local sports.
Let's talk about a little bit of the NBA leaders in the West and the East Conference. In the West Conference, we got Golden State leads Denver by 2 games, and you got Oklahoma City, Portland, and Houston right behind them. And the East, you got Milwaukee, they lead Toronto by 1 game. Then you got the Pacers, the Celtics, and the 76ers right behind them. Okay, let's touch on a little bit of NFL news real quick. The NFL has settled a collusion lawsuit with Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed. Part of the settlement agreement was that the amount paid not to be public. Kaepernick's agent made news by predicting that the Patriots or the Panthers may end up signing Kaepernick. So how big of news is that for y'all?
I don't think it would happen. He's been out of the league for so long. I don't think he's going to be. Yeah, there's no way.
I think that's the agent just trying to pump up stuff for his guy. But I don't think the Patriots and Panthers either one are having any interest.
I don't think
in
the
Kaepernick.
Patriots definitely not going to get him. They got
Because
Tom still in the
I'm
prime.
like
He's
Nate,
like he's still in the prime.
I can't see the value he's going to add to anybody. I really don't. Not at this point.
Now I can see a little bit within the Panthers because they run that same offense with the option spread and stuff with McCaffrey and Cam. But with Cam getting that shoulder surgery, if they sit him out for a year, who are they going to sign?
Well, I'd rather go with a younger guy than bring Kaepernick.
Yeah.
That,
you got
that's
more.
my thought.
You got more upside to that too. So, all right.
Let's talk a little bit about NASCAR. There's a little race this past weekend at Daytona 500.
Yep. Denny Hamlin won the Daytona 500 in overtime. Kyle Busch was second. Eric Jones was third. The first three are all Toyotas from Joe Gibbs Racing Team. Joe Logano and Michael McDowell finished fourth and fifth in Fords.
Yeah, and Logano's a little upset with McDowell. They're not on the same racing team, but they drive Fords because he didn't get behind him and help pushing him on that last lap to try to pass. McDowell said, "Hey, I'm just in there trying to win for myself," and so a little bit of controversy there. But the big news was that with 10 laps left, they had a 21-year car pileup. Now, folks, you talk about sparks and fire and wreckage.
Was everyone okay?
Everybody was okay. They had a red flag, the race, obviously, until they got all the mess cleaned up.
Yeah.
Not one person got hurt, but boy, what a pileup.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then they had another wreck when they started back, and then another wreck. So they had 2 more cautions and had to finish overtime. And Hamlin, that's his second Daytona 500 win. Kyle Busch has never won the Daytona 500. As successful he's been, he's never won the Daytona 500. So
switching over to the MLB a little bit. Nate, you want to hit the first topic on the MLB? Right here, very bottom.
Oh.
Big news about Manny Machado.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name.
Manny Machado.
He signed a 10-year, $300 million contract with San Diego.
Machado's contract coupled with the 8-year, $144 million with contract that Eric Hosner signed last year make up 41% of San Diego's payroll.
Now that means
crazy.
that they're not going to probably have a lot of other good players around them. You reckon?
Yeah.
Now their payroll, don't get me wrong, they only have like about $110 million payroll for players. Where like the Red Sox have like $200 million. But
yeah,
that's insane.
But Harper has still not been signed. Most think that the Phillies have got the best shot at him, but the Giants and White Sox are also in the mix.
Yep.
But there's some big market teams that's got the money, but they're not going after him. I'm talking about the Dodgers,
Yankees,
the Cubs, the Yankees. They're not going after him because they don't want to sign this 10-year, multi-million-dollar thing with the players.
Machado and Harper are both 26 and have played 7 seasons. Is it crazy for teams to sign players to 10 years or longer contracts? Stanton's contract with the Yankees last year is 13 years, $330 million. I think that's pretty crazy.
Well,
I like that money.
Yeah, I like that money too.
But from a team standpoint, you feel like you're going to get something out of that. But so far with these big contracts, I haven't seen one big signing that led the teams into the World Series and give them championships. And that's what, when you sign a player like that, you're hoping during this term of this contract you can have that kind of success. But it just hasn't happened. Albert Pujols was one of the first great big long-term long year contract, 10 years for $240,000. The thing about him though, he signed that with the Angels age 32. Now I thought that was crazy because if he's going to be 42, well, his best year since then was his first year, 2012, with the Angels. Since then, everything's been downhill. So he hasn't performed like the same player he did the first 11 years of his career in his latter years. And folks, no matter who you are, Father Time catches up with you.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to be that kind of elite player forever just because it's a human element that comes into play, and your body's going to start failing you a little bit, and you're not going to be able to do it forever.
Let's talk about Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell and their situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
And so the trade plan for the Steelers, they send Brown and a 2020 6th-round pick to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for for a 2019 second-round pick and a 2020 fifth-round pick. For the Steelers to maximize the Browns' value with the trade partner, they need a playmaker for quarterback. They need a Jimmy G. They need Jimmy Garoppolo. They need a young guy who can come in and start and just pick up and where Ben's going to leave off. Because Ben's getting up there in his age. He's not got many years left. And to have someone behind Ben and learn what Ben did and learn how he got the ball to receivers and how he ran the offense, that would be good for Jimmy Garoppolo.
So who you think might be a good trading partner to be willing to?
49ers. 49ers would be a good place, and that's where
you think they would give
send
up?
Send him to the NFC. Send him to the NFC. I don't want to see him in the AFC because if he goes to the AFC, he's gonna hurt the Steelers.
But why would why would the 49ers give up what it's going to take for Brown, who's a great receiver? But how long is he going to be a great receiver? You know
He's 31 years old.
Yeah.
He's probably got 1 or 2 more years left in him.
Yeah.
And the 49ers need success now. They need a player who can make plays now. And Brown still can make plays for him at the age he is right now. And they don't have a star-stud receiver like Brown. If they got a receiver like Brown, then you have Kittle at the tight end, then you got Breida and Jarrett McKinnon at the running back, and you got that great offensive line. There's no saying what can happen. And they got a good young quarterback there who's going to do good. When Garoppolo comes back, I think they need to trade Garoppolo away.
Well, basically, you get to the other guy from the Steelers, Bell.
Yeah.
I understand when the season starts, he'll be an unrestricted free agent.
There's
and the
still
Browns,
no tag on him, so I mean,
the Browns actually don't get anything for him.
And I think James Conner would be a bigger. He's a better back. You look at some of the runs he's did this year. He puts together some good runs, and with Le'Veon out, they need to trade him and get some big key defensive players.
But what I'm saying, he's going to be a restricted free agent. They're not going to be able to get anything for him.
Well, I mean,
if
you're not going to sign him, to your team,
I understand that.
Just go ahead and let him go. I mean,
that way
you
you're
can't
not
get
paying
nothing.
his big salary. But what I'm
you
saying,
don't want to pay him the big salary. I understand that.
But they really want to get something for Brown. But like you say, you gotta find a dancing partner. You gotta have to find somebody to trade with.
Mm-hmm.
We know he wants to go, and they want to move him. But
I didn't mean to say trade on Le'Veon. Le'Veon, a team that's probably going to pick him up, would be a good team for him to be the Jets. The Jets need a running back.
Yeah.
And they have the salary cap to put him in there.
Yeah, somebody's got the salary cap and need, like you say, Jets would be an ideal team to go with. Brown obviously is going to be he and Bell from the Steelers. That's probably the two biggest names.
I mean, you think about it. You got Sam Darnold, and you got Le'Veon Bell at running back, and then you got a good young wide receiver core for the Jets. That'd be pretty good. So
I got one comment on the free agency stuff, trades.
Yes.
I for all the announcers out there hating on Joe Flacco.
All the flack.
I've heard some of these fools say he's not as good as Case Keenum.
Oh. I
mean, when do we start? Like everybody's wanting to get rid of Eli, everybody's wanting to get rid of Joe, and then you look at the Browns and Dolphins who haven't replaced quarterbacks since the mid-'90s. When you have a quarterback, folks, be happy with it.
Yeah.
Let me read you some Joe Flacco stats real quick. 96 and 67 in the regular season. I'm going to read that again. 96 and 67.
That ain't a bad record.
He's had 2 losing seasons in his career. Both the seasons he got hurt in like Game 6 and missed 10 games. The only 2 seasons he had losing records in his career, he missed 10 games. Every season he started more than 10 games in all the games, he's had a winning record.
How many Pro Bowl selections has he been to?
I don't know that. Here's the one that's the best one though. He is 10-5 in the playoffs.
Okay.
10 wins. Not the 3 it took to win the Super Bowl or the 4 it took to win the Super Bowl. He has 10 wins. Now let me tell you who he's beat, y'all. I'm going to start with the worst one first. This is who Joe Flacco's beat in the playoffs. TJ Yates, Kerry Collins, Matt Castle, Andrew Luck, Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl, Peyton Manning,
Ben
Roethlisberger, Chad Pennington, who's been to 2 AFC Championship games, or 1, been to 1, and finally, he beat Tom Brady twice.
Check this out.
Not once, twice. So, Ken, close your eyes. All those 10 added together have a grand total of 28 Super Bowl appearances. And Joe Flacco has beat every single one of them, including Brady.
Tom Brady's got like 7.
Twice. Twice. 28 Super Bowl appearances, Joe Flacco. Now, all those people he beat, you know he couldn't beat? Drum roll, please. Armani Edwards.
Hey.
He couldn't beat Armani, Ken. I sat right there at the stadium and watched Armani take it to him.
Who has the most playoff wins of a quarterback in NFL history?
Pretty sure it's Brady.
Yeah, so guess how many he has? Exactly.
It's like 18 or 19.
No, dude, he's got 30 playoff wins.
Jeez. That's a lot.
He's been there every year, and he's been there a lot of years.
Who's got second most or anything like that?
Joe Montana with 16.
I was about to say,
and then you got Terry Bradshaw with 14, Elway with 14, Manning with 14, Brett Favre with 13, Ben Roethlisberger with 13.
Yeah.
Roger
Where's Flacco
Staubach
on that? About 10th on the list?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 9 with
Joe
10.
Flacco is 9th.
He's got the same amount of playoff wins as Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
That's crazy.
And people hate on Joe. We've been seeing it for all week.
Mean Joe Green, baby.
Think about where he's going, y'all, though. He's going to Mile High Stadium. What does Joe Flacco do better than anything? Just closes his eyes and throws it deep.
Throws it deep. He's got an arm.
What is? Jeez, I'm not saying they're going to go win the Super Bowl, but they ain't going to go 5-11 or 3-13.
You know, with him in Denver, it's going to be great. He can still sling it.
I don't think it's going to be that too bad. All right, I just wanted to get my Joe Flacco.
You got a good defense.
I told y'all all that just to tell y'all that he couldn't beat Armani Edwards.
You
really
got
the only
Manny
reason I
Sand
said that.
Hey, it's always exception to the rule.
All right. Well, we're gonna leave it here. We're gonna leave it right here. Tune in next week, next Wednesday from.
You got 2 more
4 o'clock.
minutes. 2 more minutes to squeeze in, Addison.
I do not want to squeeze in 2 more minutes. I got nothing left.
I got something then. Ken, you got any? Did you talk NASCAR a little bit there?
Yeah,
we did talk NASCAR. One thing that I want to mention is on WLON, we'll have I think, Kevin, the championship game of the South Fork 2A basketball tournament, which is
supposed to be Friday night, right?
Was supposed to be Friday night, but it was supposed to start last night, and because of inclement weather, which I didn't see that much of it, they delayed it. So it's actually starting tonight.
Right.
So who's in that game?
So the South Fork 2A basketball tournament.
High school?
Yeah, high school.
Who's in it?
Well, all 8 teams.
The tournament hadn't started
Lincolnton
yet.
Teams, basically?
No, all 8 teams in that conference are in it, girls and boys. They play tonight at the place of the higher seeds, and then tomorrow night and Friday it's all at Lincolnton High School, where the semifinals will be for both the boys and the girls, and then the championship game will be Saturday with the girls and boys. I think the girls will be 6 and the boys was 8. It was originally set up to start last night and end up Friday, but they're a day behind.
Okay.
So I just want to mention that will be going on.
Now you can wrap it up, Addison.
What?
Now you can wrap it up.
Okay. Well, tune in next Wednesday from 4 to 5. You can listen to us on WCSL.
1590.
And 92.3 FM. You can also listen, as always, on ktcbroadcasting.com. If you'll go to the website, there's a big green button at the top of the page. Wherever you're at, you can click on that. Now, the best thing to do that, if you're out of the area, guys, is to do that, use that player, and then hook it to your Bluetooth in your car. You can listen to KTC around the world, wherever you're at, on the International Space Station. If you want, you can also watch you guys every Wednesday on YouTube. Wave at the camera. There's people watching you right now on YouTube. Wave for them. Addison, wave your camera. There you go. You too, Nate. Hey, everybody. All right, thanks for everybody watching on YouTube. Addison Johnson, Ken Link, Nate Baker, thanks for joining us today. Ken, you got any other final thoughts?
No, that'll do it. We look forward to seeing you
next Wednesday.
Next week, and tune in to the big rivalry tonight, Duke and Carolina.
All right, guys. See you next week on KTC Broadcast.